Get ready for an analysis that will leave you hopeful, because you are going to discover exactly what Dan Quinn's plan is for the preseason and how he wants to turn our defense into a pressure machine on the quarterback. But it doesn't stop there. We will dive into why Laremy Tunsil should receive an immediate contract extension, protecting our investment and keeping Jayden Daniels safe. And there's more. You will understand the drama surrounding Jayden Daniels' mother responding to a supposed personal trainer who was exaggerating the truth. During the NFL Combine, Commanders head coach Dan Quinn discussed the team's offseason plan, aiming to ensure that the 2026 season is not a repeat of 2025. As a fan who tracks every move, I know that these meetings are crucial for understanding the direction of the team. While discussing his priorities, Quinn stated that strengthening pressure on Washington's opposing quarterback was one of the key needs for success. This ability to affect the quarterback is one of the most important principles for winning the game. The ability to hit and pressure the quarterback is essential. It also forces turnovers and changes the momentum of the game, Quinn said emphatically. You want to see someone who has shown speed and initial agility to beat the opponent on the field. Having that explosive start to put the opponent in distress is what all great pass rushers have. While reinforcing pressure on the opposing quarterback is important, Quinn also indicated that having versatility on the defensive line is fundamental to success. Finding players on the defensive line who can create an advantage in one-on-one matchups and transition between different roles is absolutely essential for the system he wants to implement. I think versatility is going to help in some ways. What's so fun about coaching versatile players is that they are big enough to play as defensive ends in a 3-4 formation, have the strength to play as nose tackles, and the agility to move around, Quinn explained. So, seeing how we are going to use them together on the field, having all three together, that excites me a lot, to be honest. The Commanders suffered a series of injuries last year, both on offense and defense, and that was devastating for the team. The most notable was the absence of starting quarterback Jayden Daniels, who missed most of the season due to multiple injuries that kept him off the field. Quinn stated that there will be a renewed focus not only on the physical care of the roster, but also on ensuring that the players' mental health is in good shape. I hope that we will reach a point where we won't talk about mental health only when a tragedy happens, but that we will talk about it regularly, Quinn said seriously. Says-t? Then we will know that we are making real progress in that area and that we are caring for our players as people. In my case, I first want to check how they are dealing with the injury, but more importantly, how is the player doing? You feel isolated and separated from the team in those situations, so you just want to make sure that they are communicating and that they know they are still part of the team, Quinn continued. This humanized approach is what sets Quinn apart from other coaches. Quinn had previously stated that he and Washington's general manager, Adam Peters, have a good working relationship and that this collaboration is essential. He emphasized during the press conference the importance of this partnership with Peters and the scouting department for the team's success. I think everything starts with Adam's desire to collaborate with the coaches, and with the coaches' ability to also provide the information that Adam and the scouts need, Quinn explained. The college scouts who are at the schools, watching the games live, initiate the whole process and drive it quite a bit. The coaches come in and add insight into what the player can become in our system. The better the scouts and coaches connect and get to know each other, the easier it will be for them to visualize how the player would fit into the offense and defense, Quinn continued. And that's why, during this preseason, there are some important processes to be followed with the coordinators, the coaching staff, and the scouting team to continue fostering this dialogue among everyone. Commanders head coach Dan Quinn set quite realistic expectations for the team during the preseason. From highlighting the need to ramp up pressure on the opposing quarterback to the importance of collaboration with Adam Peters and his staff, the message about the preseason was very clear. Quinn wants to use this time to restructure and ensure that all needs are met before the start of the 2026 season. And now, get ready to understand why Laremy Tunsil should receive a contract extension. You will discover how to keep our investment protected and ensure that Jayden Daniels has elite protection for the next few years. The offensive tackle for the Washington Commanders, Laremy Tunsil, has just completed his first season with the team and is having to decide what his future will be in the nation's capital. As a fan who saw the investment we made to bring him here, I know we need to keep him. The Commanders paid a hefty price to acquire Tunsil from the Houston Texans, and it will cost them a second-round pick in the upcoming draft. He has just one more year on his contract, but there is a possibility he could sign an extension this offseason that could benefit both parties. Tunsil has 1 year left on his contract, but the Commanders gave up a lot when they acquired him last offseason, wrote ESPN reporter John Keem. They sent 3rd and 7th round picks last season, in addition to 2nd and 4th round picks in April of this year. Tunsil played as expected in 2025. The former Commanders' offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, praised his pass protection highly and said Tunsil was a better run blocker than he imagined, Keem continued. He has also become a mentor to rookie right tackle Josh Conerly Jr., helping him develop as a professional player. The Commanders need an extension with Laremy Tunsil to ensure stability on the offensive line. Despite the Commanders' offensive regression last season, in Tunsil's first year with the team, he wasn't the cause of that decline in performance. He played very well and provided a strong veteran presence on the offensive line, which greatly helped rookie Josh Conerly Jr. Tunsil is someone worth keeping around long term, as he still has a lot of football left in him and can continue at a high level. Tunsil turns 32 this offseason and has already played 10 seasons in the NFL, but there's a chance he could play for at least 5 more years at a competitive level. The Commanders could ensure he spends those years with them. There is a possibility Tunsil may regress as he enters his 30s, as happens with many players. But if last year's performance is any indication of the future, he will still be one of the best tackles in the NFL for the next few years. Having someone like that to protect Jayden Daniels will be extremely important for the future of the offense. The Commander must do whatever it takes to keep him safe in the capital for many years. Therefore, General Manager Adam Peters must do everything he can to sign the contract extension this offseason before other teams try to recruit him. As a fan, I see Tunsil as the key piece for Daniels' offensive success. And now, to close with drama, you'll understand what happened when Jayden Daniels' mother responded to a supposed personal trainer who was exaggerating the truth about his relationship with the quarterback. It wouldn't be a complete preseason in Washington without some kind of drama involving the Commanders organization. Fortunately for the organization, the players are not causing bigger problems. But it seems that a coach and personal friend of starting quarterback Jayden Daniels may have exaggerated the truth about his relationship with Washington's QB1. After an interview yesterday with John Keem, the supposed quarterback's personal trainer, Ryan Porter, was criticized by Jayden Daniels' mother, Regina Jackson. During the interview with John Keem, Porter was described as Daniels' personal quarterback's coach, which apparently was not well received by the quarterback's mother. The focus of the interview was on Daniels' training routine in the preseason and his plan to gain lean muscle mass and become more resilient for the 2026 season. The big goal for Jayden this preseason is to gain more physical endurance. He is trying to get a little bigger, faster, and stronger, Porter said. Gaining more lean muscle mass is the main focus. Guys are bigger, faster, and stronger in the NFL. His focus has been on getting his body in shape. I think, from a mechanical standpoint, there's not much he needs to concentrate on at the moment, Porter continued in the interview. Jayden Daniels' mother, however, did not like the idea of Porter being described as Daniels' personal quarterback's coach so officially. She took to Twitter and expressed her dissatisfaction with how Porter was presented in Keem's interview. Now, the question remains whether any of the information Porter provided to Keem is true. Is Daniels really undergoing a physical transformation before the start of the 2026 season, or was it all just a big exaggeration? So far, no one from the Commanders organization, not even Daniels himself, has officially commented on the matter. This is not the first time Daniels' mother has shown protective behavior towards her son. She gave an interview that aired on Cam Newton's 4th and 1 podcast last year, where she explained why she is so protective of him, especially regarding people who may be interested in her son. So, first of all, there's a meme out there that is funny, so I just have to laugh, Regina Jackson said. But the comment about the girls came up 2 years ago when he was at LSU, and the question was, what is your biggest fear? And that should be every parent's biggest fear. It should be if you are a standout athlete and a public figure, because your money is tied to your name. So you never know who is really on your side and who is against you. And our issue is this. I want Jayden to date. I don't want everyone to say that my son can't date, that he can live freely, that he can make his own decisions. However, in the relationship we have, he values my opinion because when my kids were little, I did a lot for them, and my kids saw that, Regina Jackson continued. My father, my origin, I worked very hard to allow anyone at any time to be by his side. So it is important for him to know that he can count on me for guidance and protection when necessary, concluded Regina Jackson in her explanation of her protective approach with her son. The situation with Ryan Porter raises important questions about who is really close to Jayden Daniels and who is just trying to gain visibility through his name. As a fan, I understand Regina Jackson's concern to protect her son from people who may be taking advantage of his fame and fortune. Loyalty and trust are values she has clearly instilled in her children since they were young. What is interesting to note is that Daniels clearly respects his mother's opinion and values her advice, even as an adult professional athlete. This speaks volumes about the relationship they have and the strength of the family bond that unites them. In a world where many athletes are surrounded by self-interested individuals, having a protective mother like Regina Jackson can be a blessing. The situation also highlights how the media and people close to athletes can sometimes exaggerate or distort the truth to gain attention. Ryan Porter may have simply been overly enthusiastic in describing his role in Daniels' life, or he may have deliberately overstated his importance. Either way, Regina Jackson's response was appropriate and made it clear that she does not tolerate falsehoods about her son. As a fan of the Commanders, I hope that Jayden Daniels continues to have the support and guidance of his mother as he navigates his professional life in the NFL. His mental health and well-being are just as important as his performance on the field, and having a protective mother figure can be exactly what he needs to succeed in the long run. So, fan, after discovering Dan Quinn's detailed plan to strengthen pressure on the quarterback and implement versatility in the defense, understanding why Laremy Tunsil should receive an immediate contract extension to protect our investment and keep Jayden Daniels safe, and knowing the drama between Daniels' mother and Ryan Porter about who is really the quarterback's personal coach, which of these situations makes you feel more hopeful for 2026? Do you believe Quinn's plan to focus on pressure and versatility will be enough to transform our defense, or will we still need more reinforcements in the draft? And more importantly, do you trust that Jayden Daniels will be able to stay healthy and develop with all this support around him, or will constant injuries continue to be a problem that prevents us from winning? Leave your opinion in the comments. I want to know what you think about the future of the Washington Commanders.